Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever this video finds you, I hope you're having a rad time. I'm the Figure Dude, and on today's Action Figure Showcase, we've got part 2 of my Ruthless Aggression collection. Without further ado, let's talk about some figures. Dude. Welcome back. Like I said, today is part 2 of my Ruthless Aggression collection, and we've got plenty of parts coming, so be on the lookout for those. But let's get started with today. We've got a couple of Kane figures, and they are pretty much the same figure, but we did get some minor differences. So we got the Decade of Domination Kane, which was a Walmart exclusive, and then later we got the Legends Kane. And the one with the smudged face paint, the weird haircut, is from the Decade of Domination set, I'm pretty sure. And I thought that figure was awesome. It's from when he took his mask off, he turned on RVD. I think he lost a match against Triple H where he lost his mask. It was like mask versus title. And then we got the bald version, the maskless version of Kane that we all knew for a very long time. And then we got another head, I think, with that one. And then we got a removable mask. I couldn't find the removable mask. It's in my collection somewhere. But we have the Legends figure. So on my shelf, I have it posed with... I have this posed like this with his like pyro hands. And then over here, we've got the one with the mask. In the mask, this is one... I think this is one of the best Kane masked heads we've gotten. They've got a lot of detail in the actual mask itself. It's got like the staples or whatever, and then it's got the goatee, and it's one of my favorite figures. I think they just nailed it. And then when they gave us the update, they also gave him the red knee pads, which he had here. I don't know if it was necessarily knee pads, but it was like, it looked like ripped up, tattered knee pads, and they tried to kind of capture that, and I think it did a pretty good job, but 2 awesome Ruthless Aggression Kanes nonetheless. Next up, we have a trio of Ruthless Aggression Shawn Michaels figures, and these are all customs or fix-ups. For the most part, I've used just stock parts from different Shawn Michaels figures, but we haven't gotten just like a plain early Ruthless Aggression Shawn Michaels yet. We do have the Brown Survivor Series attire coming, but haven't gotten that, and while it's iconic for its own reasons, it still isn't like what I think of for that Ruthless Aggression Shawn Michaels, like before he was wearing the like long pants. So we've got my WrestleMania 19 custom with a custom head. In the middle, I took an extra pair of legs from the I always mess that up. Not Defining Moments, the Ultimate Edition Shawn Michaels that we got, and then I just gave him the like older Shawn torso, arms, and then the heads from the basic 100, I think it is. And then the Shawn Michaels all the way on the end is the knee pads from the basic 100. So those were silver instead of the white that matched the tights, but not something that bothered me a lot. One thing I did do is paint the like tips of the boots silver, because that's kind of what it looked like then. And then those again are just some extra legs from the other Ultimate Edition we got of Shawn. So gave him that bigger body, or the just normal elite style body, and then the arm accessories. The top he's wearing is from one of the WrestleMania elites, I think, but these are all just kind of stand-ins as I wait for some more Ruthless Aggression Shawns. Next up are my custom Los Guerreros. We have Chavo, we have Eddie, and these are both the base body was the elite 94, I think it was, Eddie Guerrero that we got, and I hated that head on Eddie Guerrero. So this head I put on him is a little bit bigger, but I think the expression is just way better, and it still has that same kind of buzzed hair, so it still fits that time frame for what I was going for, and I think what Mattel was going for. But now I've got him in matching attires. So with the Chavo, I took that Eddie, gave him the skinnier, that Daniel Bryan torso here. I used the Chavo head that we already had, and I did paint a beard just to differentiate it a little bit. He already had like the goatee and everything, but I wanted to change it up a little bit. And then I've got decals on. You can see the greens don't match. And that is something that annoys me. I haven't decided if I'm going to just try different decals for it, if I'm going to paint over them. For now, it just kind of sits on my shelf until I think it's something better to do. But the SmackDown 6 were a huge part of that early Ruthless Aggression time period. That was Los Guerreros. We had Edge, Rey Mysterio, Chris Benoit, and Kurt Angle. So I wanted to have all of those guys represented for that time period. So Los Guerreros were absolutely necessary for that. Next up are two more members of what I was just saying, the SmackDown 6, who Paul Heyman really built the SmackDown brand around to start things out. So I've got my custom Chris Benoit, which I have a few different time periods of him. And then we have the Chase Legends Edge. And for this Edge, I did paint the wrist tape because the wrist tape we got was just plain white. And this is from when he won the titles with Hulk Hogan. So he had red wrist tape then. And then just to change it up a little bit, I took one of the old Jax R3 head scans and put it on this Edge just because that's the time period it was from, and I figured it would just make it a little more different than what we already have. I do really like that Legends head scan, but I figured what the heck, we'll change it up a little bit. The Benoit here is, I believe, I don't even remember, some Chris Jericho legs I might have acetoned the design off of, and then I've got the this metallic Wolverine design on the side. I kept it pretty simple. I wasn't dying to have a Benoit from this time period. I have my WrestleMania 20 Benoit that I made. I've got a Benoit from when he was in the Radicals, but like I said, SmackDown 6 was something I really wanted to make. I liked that time period, so again, had to add these guys. Next up, we have a couple of big boys. We have the Big Quiche, we've got Rikishi, and we have A-Train. And I love big figures. The Rikishi is just an official release. We've gotten him a few times now. We just got him in the Greatest Hits. We got him in the Hall of Champions series, I think it was. And then we got the normal Elite from him. So I do have the normal Elite. I think this is the Hall of Champions or Hall of Fame one that we got. I didn't pick up the Greatest Hits because it was just kind of the True Effects upgrade, the arm upgrade, and I didn't really need that for this Rikishi. I think this figure is fantastic. I wish they would have taken more of this for the the Head Shrinkers figures that we just got. Because you put them next to each other, they're tiny. But this Rikishi I think is awesome. This is I think this is the body they kind of based this Sultan figure off of that we're getting. We're getting that bigger version. But then the A-Train is a custom, so I pieced together a few things before I really figured out what I wanted to do. What I ended up going with was the Tensai torso. So Albert kind of had that torso established for him, and then I took some legs from an Elite 73 Tucker figure and just popped that Tensai torso onto those. So the arms are like some Luke Harper biceps, and then I don't remember exactly where the forearms came from, but I wanted to make sure he had beefier arms, but they were still kind of short and stubby because that's kind of how his proportions were. And then of course I had to draw on all of the body hair. They used to chant "shave your back" at him, so I made a point to make sure that I drew on plenty of hair so that he was accurate. I did use a Tensai scan, so that's a little bit inaccurate, but the A-Train scan that I had from the Jax days was too small on the body. It didn't really look right, it didn't fit right. And this head just, it sits better, it's a little bit larger, so I went over that instead of the, facial hair. Don't mind my cat. Next up, we have the ringside exclusive Jericho and then a custom Edge of mine. So the ringside exclusive Jericho, only thing I did here was, I believe, add an elbow pad. I don't think that elbow pad was on there when you originally got it. And then I gave him a Jax head, which is pretty much the same head. It's got the ponytail, the goatee. I just thought it captured the likeness a little bit better. That is based off the WrestleMania 19 match that he had with Shawn Michaels, which is one of my all-time favorites. I've said before, Shawn Michaels is my favorite wrestler of all time. So that WrestleMania 19 match is very near and dear to my heart. So I had to have the Jericho, obviously, to go with that Shawn Michaels I made. And then the Edge is a full custom. So what I did with that one was use a Victor body from one of those Ascension Elites. And then I got some decals from Curb Stomp. So you can see it's got that Edge with the sun in the middle. And then it's got that, like, what I just call, or I mean, I don't think I'm the only one, that like Rob Zombie kind of design. That's what he was coming out to then. I mean, maybe at this point he wasn't using that music anymore, but I always loved this version of Edge, and we've gotten a basic in this attire, or in this era. I think it was just a black one, and then that's it. I would really like to get this. I was hoping we'd get this one in the Ruthless Aggression line, or if we could get a purple version of it, or even just the black, or like kind of like gunmetal version. I would absolutely love that. But for now, just gonna stick with my custom. Next up, we have WrestleMania 20 Christian, and then we have a Trish Stratus fix up here. So the Trish figure that we got, the original head we got, was awful. One of the worst head scans that we have ever gotten from Mattel. Absolute garbage. I didn't think the figure overall was that bad though, so what I ended up doing was taking one of the head scans from her basic, which I thought was really good, like pretty spot on for Trish, and did what I could, made it look better. And I think this figure representation of Trish is much better. And I don't even know what era necessarily they were going for with this is the normal version. We got the white and red chase, but I don't know like what time frame exactly, but this has been my Ruthless Aggression Trish on my shelf. We're getting a new one of her in the WrestleMania line, and it's the brown-haired version we got in the Hall of Fame series. I don't know why we're getting that one again. Just Trish had plenty of WrestleMania appearances, and I'm pretty disappointed that's what they went with. I think it would have been really cool to get her WrestleMania 21 attire, I think, when she fought Christy Hemme. Yeah, I think that's what I'm thinking of. Anyway, the Trish is fine. The Christian, I think I just talked about it. I don't remember. This is from WrestleMania 20. We got the opportunity to get this in the fan takeover line, and we got a repeat Christian, which made me so mad. We had a Christian from the PG era, and then we had an Edge and Christian with like the glasses, the beanie, and we ended up getting a Christian that we already got, the one from the PG era. Nonetheless, this was like one of my first customs. I didn't know what I was doing. It turned out all right. Like, it turned out fine. The decals are on there fine. It looks fine from afar. Like I said, I didn't really know what I was doing. I used a Jax head, and like the torso you can see here is all busted. I don't even know what that's from. But it works for now. I thought we would get a new one from Mattel, and we didn't. So that's just on the table to fix one day. Next up is the Superhero in Training and Hurricane. I loved this tag team when I was younger. I thought they were so entertaining. Rosie he came in 3-minute warning. I think that's when he first got him. So like him jumping into being a superhero with the Hurricane was such a weird hop for me, and I loved it. I just thought it was really cool. And that is just the Jax figure. It's not a Mattel. I think he's a bigger guy, so the scale is fine. I think that figure in and of itself is a good figure. It's got the like orange tights he wore on it. He's got it on the ankles. The only issue with it is that the joints are super loose. I've thought about making an elite of him, but this Jax figure is pretty good, so I've just kind of kept it. And then the Hurricane is Elite 70. Man, I don't remember when we got this Hurricane. I don't think maybe this was the Legends and I fixed it up. I think I gave him different arms. I've got a few different versions of Hurricane, and I've swapped a bunch of stuff around, and I honestly forget. I think the Legends one was just the like black sleeve double jointed arms with the long hair, I'm pretty sure. So I think this head scan is from Elite Nope, nope. I don't remember. It's not coming to me. Same series as Jeff Hardy. I don't know. Someone help me out. I cannot remember at all. Thought I had it. Totally don't have it. Anyway, I have Hurricane. I have Rosie. Love these guys. Next up, we've got a tag team. So we've got Trevor Murdoch and we've got Garrison Cade or Lance Cade. I don't remember when or where he switched his name, and he floated around in WWE. Never did anything too crazy, but these guys were tag champs, so I wanted to make them. Trevor, or is it Lance Murdoch, is in NWA or was in NWA. I don't really keep up with NWA, but I know he was or is a prominent piece there for a bit. So even we've seen a few customs of him from other people, or I have at least. I don't know if you guys have. Anyway, we've got my versions of them. So I didn't want him huge, but so what I did was give him a Kevin Owens torso. And then I don't remember exactly where the crotch piece came from, but then I just gave him like some plain legs. Like the formula wasn't anything too crazy. I just thought the proportions was what was important. So these guys have the same logo on the back, different color. So we've got the Cade, Murdoch. He will not stand. Okay, I'm just gonna hold him, I guess. So he's got the flowers on both sides. And then Garrison Cade was a huge dude. He was a ripped dude. So I gave him some big arms. I gave him that ripped up Triple H torso, and that Jax head is a little bit big, so it kind of hides some of that largeness, but a kind of obscure tag team, which I love. I love that for my Ruthless Aggression collection. Next up, some Ruthless Aggression staples. We've got Evolution, and I think I've done just a showcase of Evolution, so I just grabbed one of each guy. I've got a couple different figures of Batista and Randy Orton, Triple H from that time frame, but I couldn't do a Ruthless Aggression collection showcase without having these guys in here. So the Batista is a fixed-up, painted, custom, whatever, of the Ultimate Edition we got. Ric Flair, a complete custom. I think I used a Road Dogg torso, some Bobby Roode legs. I can't remember, Dolph Ziggler legs. And then Triple H, he's got the fixed up like British Bulldog torso. And then of course that's just the fan takeover Orton. But like I said, when I think of Ruthless Aggression, Evolution are a group that immediately come to mind. So couldn't do a showcase without them. Next up, I've got a couple of Jax conversions. So I got this original 2-pack of La Resistance in their navy blue attire, and I got it from Toys R Us. I'll never forget. I remember just walking through the aisles at Toys R Us. I saw this 2-pack up on the shelf, and I immediately grabbed it. I thought it was always cool getting teams, and in my area, like, we didn't get a ton of stuff. So being able to pick these guys up was really cool for me. So I always thought of these two, Rene Dupree and Rob Conway, as La Resistance. But then like going back and watching now more, it was definitely more Rob Conway and Sylvain Grenier. But nonetheless, we've got La Resistance. I decided to give them a red attire. So they've both got matching boots. And there was some different looks that they had. They had like a pants look, but this is the attire I decided to go with. Didn't want to go with the normal navy blue that I had picked up back in the day, and I didn't really like the pants look, so what I just ended up going with this. Obviously, I've got Jax heads, like I was just saying, and then the body for Rob Conway is mostly a Randy Orton figure. I don't remember whose calves they are, but Randy's got longer thighs, so I had to find some smaller ones, and then Rene Dupree is essentially an entire Triple H body. He's got some bigger arms. Well, not even. I think there might be Triple H arms. I think there's not much different there. I just did a nice paint job on it. Rounding out today, we have the Ruthless Aggression Shelton Benjamin. We just got this recently. I love this figure. I think it's really well done. I like the part choices. I like the kick pads. Top to bottom, I was really happy with this figure. Really, maybe the knee pads is about the only issue I had with it. I wish I would have given him some smaller ones. Here is my custom Ultimate Edition Shelton that I did a while back, though. So we've got these two next to each other to compare. And obviously the torso is different. The arms on the official release are a little bit smaller. but I went with the red attire, and I did this a while back, so it was kind of based off one of the Jax figures that I had. That was one of my favorites growing up. I think it was just for the Ruthless Aggression line. I don't remember. Yeah, it would have been classics, or maybe it was like the Treacherous Trios or something like that. Anyway, for the parts, really, it's a Mr. T upper, Shelton Benjamin lower. I like the Shelton figures we've gotten. With my head scan, I tried to do the fade a little better and then give him like a little tiny mustache in there. But obviously, just the big difference is the attire choice. So I went with the red and silver, and I made this way before we knew we were getting a Shelton, so I lucked out. This wasn't a custom I had to knock out of my collection. But that is going to wrap up everything for today. I still have more to come with my Ruthless Aggression collection. I'm always adding characters from the Ruthless Aggression era to my shelf. Other than that, if you want to go check out some more of these, I've got part 1 of this collection on the channel, as well as plenty of other action figure showcases you can go ahead and check out. Please continue to like, share, subscribe. I always appreciate it. And remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy more action figures. Figure Dude out.